Social connection has become one of the most paradoxical elements of the human condition in the modern world. And I say this because, on a technical level, humanity has never been as interconnected as it is now. We live in a time where almost everyone has access to and carries around a device which enables them, in theory at least, to make direct contact with anyone, anywhere in the world, at any time. But we are also seeing a social phenomenon in which young people, especially, are reporting increased levels of loneliness, isolation, and feelings of nihilism. And so I started thinking about this and wondering what the cause might be. The conclusion that I've come to is that it is the very ease and immediacy of digital communication that causes the root of this issue. The fact that it's so easy to communicate with someone and also to end communication as soon as you don't like what you're hearing means that most of the ways in which we communicate are superficial and without any real depth or meaning. I think that it's becoming more and more evident that people were actually um, the beneficiaries of a greater level of genuine human connection in the days before the internet was in common public use. It is not easy, and in some ways, I would argue that it's impossible to maintain genuine human relationships if all you're doing is having your communication mediated through a screen. And the reason for this is that modern social media, particularly the algorithm driven method by which most of these platforms operate today, is nowhere near the organic way in which human beings evolved to interact with one another. If you think about it, on social media, what do you see? You see, firstly, only what your friends and followers choose to show you, which is generally only the very best moments of their lives that portray themselves in the most positive light possible. So you've got that degree of separation. But it's worse because even after that, your algorithm then decides what fragment of that you are going to see in order to maintain your engagement and maximize how many ads you see in your feed. And so, what we have as a consequence is an overwhelming amount of basically raw data which has been manipulated for a very specific purpose. And another aspect of this that I've been thinking about is the fact that whenever anyone does anything now, and I've been guilty of this myself, instead of just being present with the people you are spending time with, or even if you're by yourself, just focusing on whatever it is you happen to be doing. In the back of all our minds now is this thought of, oh, I better get a video of this, or I better get some photos so that I can share this experience with my friends and followers on social media. Now, of course, photo albums have always been a thing, or at least they've been a thing ever since camera technology was widely available to the public. But I think that there is a fundamental difference between a family photo album that stays in your home and that you and your family can use to reminisce over special times, and actively choosing to stop what you're doing these days to take a photo and post it on the internet where, in theory, anyone could see it, especially people you don't know. And I have begun to ponder why it is we do this. And in truth, I think that when we compulsively share photos and videos of our daily experiences to followers on social media, we're not doing it out of a genuine desire to share the experience with others. Because when we share things on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, the real purpose is how sharing that thing makes other people feel about us, or how we see ourselves in relation to the opinion of our followers. So I guess the point I'm making here is that no matter how sophisticated it becomes, social media platforms will never be able to truly replicate human interaction, or to meet the deep and inherent human need to be with others in a social context. So if you are able to, I highly advise you to go out into the real world and hang out with real people. That's all I've got to say for now. Look after yourselves and keep well.